Hello, my name's Nessa and I'm 26 years old. I just got married. It was the best thing that happened to me this year. But while I got married, my father-in-law, Jerry, decided to divorce his cruel wife, Lily. And he announced it at my wedding. While the normal reaction would be to get angry for stealing the spotlight, my husband and I were overjoyed with Jerry's decision. Let me tell you how this happened. My husband, Ryan, and I met when we were in middle school. I know. We've known each other for a very, very long time. The thing is, we only started dating in our senior year of high school. We were best friends before we started dating, and so it was such a natural transition into a relationship. Our parents never knew of each other because we somehow never bothered to have each other over at our places. We always met up at school or the parks. The first time we did introduce each other was about 4 months into dating. My parents had heard a lot about Ryan, but never actually got to meet him. So obviously they were very glad to meet him. Before meeting his parents, Ryan did tell me that his parents, especially his mom, were a handful. There's a reason I've always been hesitant about telling my parents about you. What is it? My parents aren't what you'd expect. What? Are they aliens? They might as well be, if I have to be honest. Oh, that bad. No, okay. I may be exaggerating, but my dad's amazing. He's this really happy-go-lucky guy that loves to make a good joke. My mom, on the other hand, yeah, she's kind of a handful, to put it lightly. I'm definitely excited to meet your dad, but should I be worried about your mom? Honestly, yeah. But no matter what she says or does, it won't change anything between us. You just keep being yourself and we'll be fine. Okay, I'm scared, but I'm going to trust that this won't change us. I promise it won't change us. Ryan was right to warn me. Meeting his parents was beyond awkward. His dad was nothing like he'd described. Jerry was very closed off. He was quiet and reserved. Even if I directed a question towards him, he would answer in one-word replies. Ryan's mother, Lily, on the other hand, was the stuff nightmares are made of. She was loud and obnoxious. She tried many, many times to invade my personal space and privacy. She had no filter and just said the first things that came to her mind. Ryan had to politely ask her to shut up every time, while his dad, Jerry, looked at Lily with this look of utter exhaustion. After that first meeting, Ryan was obviously embarrassed. He apologized profusely and promised me that he wouldn't mind if I never wanted to see his parents ever again. I wasn't going to do that, though. The family was family. They had their quirks, but they always had your back. I wasn't going to rob Ryan of that kind of support. The day after I visited Ryan's parents, Ryan called me to tell me that his dad wanted to meet us at our local cafe. I was surprised because honestly, I couldn't imagine the quiet man from yesterday ever wanting to speak up. But I did go there to meet him. Hey, son. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Dad. Hi, Jerry. Why the sudden secret meeting? Unless, oh God, is Mom coming? No, I wanted to meet you guys here for that reason. I wanted to apologize to Nessa. Me? But why? Just for the way things went yesterday. I know that the way Lily behaved was completely unacceptable, and my not saying anything either wasn't good. I would have stepped up, but yesterday I was just at my limit with her. Oh, it's okay. There's nothing for you to apologize for. You did your best and you've made up for it. Son, you picked a good one. I like her. So how long have you two known each other? Since we were in 7th grade. Seriously? And how come we've never heard of this beautiful and amazing woman? You saw why last night, Dad. Touché. After that, we kind of just hung out for a while. Jerry did turn out to be a little like what Ryan had described him to be. He just looked very tired, and I really just wished the best for him. He didn't deserve somebody like Lily. Of course, I never said that to either Ryan or Jerry, but I did hope at least one of them was thinking the same as me, for their own sanity. In our 2nd year, we had to move out of our dorms, so we moved in together. Let me tell you, living with Ryan was just like living with my best friend, maybe because he was my best friend first. Anyway, it was an amazing shift because we got to spend even more time together. Throughout college, Jerry would set up these secret meetings for us to hang out and catch up. At first, I was nervous, but the more I hung out with Jerry, the more comfortable I got. Like, I could poke fun at him without feeling shy at all. He was actually turning out to be a great guy. After we graduated, Ryan and I waited another 2 years to get our financial stability and settle into adulthood fully. Once we had gotten to a comfortable place, Ryan proposed to me. Obviously, I was over the moon about it. We remained engaged for a whole year because we had to juggle wedding planning, work, and budgeting. Thankfully, Jerry had our backs. He didn't tell Lily anything because none of us wanted her to try to sabotage our big day. But when we did send the invitations out, Lily was furious. We told her it was going to be a small event, so there was no need for an extra hand. I don't know how, but she calmed down and let the topic go. Then finally came the day of my wedding. The first half of the ceremony went off without a hitch. It was honestly a magical moment, walking down the aisle in front of all of our guests and then standing next to Ryan, who was crying. I shed a lot of tears of my own too. Everyone teared up when we read our vows and cheered when we were officially pronounced husband and wife. The only person who looked out of place was Lily. While she wasn't very vocal about her disapproval of the wedding, she definitely did some things to let everyone know about it. She was constantly rolling her eyes, sighing really loud, and at one point during my vows, she even snickered. But Ryan and I just overlooked her antics because we knew the day was about us. When it was time for the reception, everyone arrived looking immaculate. Ryan and I were showered with congrats and praises. We kicked off the reception with a dance and drinks. Needless to say, everyone was happy. Well, except you know who. At least this time, everyone had the choice to steer clear of her, so she mostly stood in a corner all by herself. Jerry tried to get her to join the dance floor, but she adamantly refused. Finally, it was time for toasts. All the guests were seated at their tables. Ryan was the first to get up and give a toast to us, and I followed next. I think it was safe to say that both of us were in tears. Then went our maid of honor and best man. I mean, up until it was Lily's turn, I was a mess of tears and my stomach hurt from laughing. However, as the time drew nearer for Lily to make her toast, a part of me began to panic. She had constantly tried to sabotage this wedding. It was pure genius of Ryan and I's part to hire security and get them to keep an eye on her. Well, when the time finally came for Lily to speak, Ryan and I held each other's hand and squeezed tight. I was glad that I wasn't the only one feeling nervous about this. I didn't want Lily to say something that would get her kicked out because I knew she loved Ryan and I knew that this event meant a lot to her because she had always dreamed of going to her child's wedding. So literally, for her sake, I hoped she didn't mess it up. Hello everyone, I'm so glad to be here. For the few of you who don't know, I'm Ryan's mother. It's truly a pleasure to be here attending my baby's wedding. Although if Nessa had allowed me to help her plan this wedding, I would have definitely invited a lot more people. But you know what? It's their big day, so I'll let it be. Anyway, I'm happy that my son's happy. I wish he would have found someone a little, prettier. No need for the gasps. We were all thinking it anyway, but here's to us welcoming the ugliest member into our family. No, give me the mic. I can't let Lily say something like that. That's not very nice. But Ryan and Nessa, I truly am happy for both of you. Nessa, you are a brilliant and strong woman. I mean, you've dealt with everything that Lily has thrown at you with so much grace. It's crazy. I would have not invited her, but you are such a gracious young lady that you don't deserve this kind of treatment. I'm also really happy to see my son so happy. It's been a while since I saw that, and clearly not everyone can appreciate that properly. So I don't know about welcoming the ugliest member into our family, but I do know that we're letting go of one. Here, in my hand, are divorce papers for Lily. What? You can't do that? I'm sick and tired of the way you've been treating Nessa. I don't want to have to deal with you anymore. And I think Ryan and Nessa would be more than happy to let you go too. Actually, I think everyone here would be happy to watch you leave. Am I right? The crowd erupted in cheers. Lily looked like she was going to cry. Jerry smirked as he walked over to her and threw the divorce papers on the table in front of her. Lily tried to grab his arm to yell at him, but he cleverly sidestepped her and made his way back to his seat. Ryan and we were gobsmacked. I literally can't think of any other word to describe what we felt at the moment. For me, I was initially really hurt when Lily said what she said. I was already signaling to security to get her out, but to see Jerry stand up for me and slap her with a divorce, I was stunned. Ryan was in the same boat. He went from angry to shocked, although at that moment I was sure he was also secretly happy. Lily began screaming about how I had brainwashed everyone in the room. She began yelling that she was warning everyone and that they would live to regret their mistakes. She, and kid you not, climbed onto the table to make her points. Obviously, we weren't going to let that fly, so Ryan called for security to escort her out. But obviously, Lily wouldn't just leave without a fight. She began kicking and thrashing about to make it even harder. The security guards had literally to drag her out of the hole. I was honestly scared of her in that moment. Never in my life had I ever met anyone that insane. Everyone just watched in amusement and fear as Lily's screaming only got louder as she got further away from us. I even saw a bunch of people filming her. I was embarrassed for her, but at the same time, I was glad she finally got what she deserved. The rest of the wedding went off really well. Ryan and I didn't even realize just how tense we were because of his mother until she left. I mean, suddenly we felt lighter and we were able to enjoy our own wedding. At some point, I did approach Jerry to ask him if he was doing all right, and he gave me the most enthusiastic yes. I was glad he finally looked happy. By the time the wedding was done and Jerry and I had reached back home, we were way too exhausted to really discuss any of the things that transpired at our wedding. We invited Jerry to spend the night over at our place because we were sure he didn't want to go back home to Lily. The next morning, the three of us talked over coffee. Good morning, Jerry. Did you sleep well? Ah, here come the newlyweds. Yes, I did sleep well. Did you guys? Yep, we slept so well that we don't even remember falling asleep. Ha, that's good. But I do have something to ask you guys. Yes? Well, I was kind of awake for a while last night because I was thinking about a lot of things, and I don't know if I overstepped and caused a scene on your big days. So I'm sorry for, Oh, no, it's all okay. In fact, I was really happy that you stood up for me. Yeah, and we don't mind a scene, especially when it's to remove the most toxic person in our lives. Okay, I'm glad that you didn't have a problem with it. I was just tired, I've been covering for her for so long. I've been dealing with her nonsense for even longer. Why did you even stay with her, Dad? If I'm being really honest, I was going to leave your mom, but then she got pregnant. I didn't leave because I didn't want you growing up without a father. Plus, I always wanted a kid. I tried my best to give you a childhood that didn't include any of your mother's stupid antics and ideologies, and then I figured that if I could stick it out for so long, I could continue. I mean, I was used to her, and change was terrifying. But then you guys got together and your mother's behavior got uglier, and I didn't think it was even possible. That's why I'm sorry I had to take a step on your wedding. You have nothing to apologize for. You did your best all throughout my life. You sacrificed so much for me. The least I could do was allow you to shed off your biggest burden on a day when I get to start a family of my own. I don't know when, but at some point during the conversation, I started tearing up. I mean, Jerry is just the nicest guy. I can't believe everything he'd put up with Lily for so long. Once you get used to the toxicity, normalcy seems scary, but I was actually, from the bottom of my heart, really happy for Jerry. Jerry and Ryan shared an emotional hug before the three of us decided to get dressed up and head out for breakfast. We enjoyed breakfast with Jerry. I was finally able to see the happy-go-lucky man that Jerry had always described to me. It was actually crazy to see how much Lily had robbed him of. We returned back home with smiles and laughter, but that was pretty short-lived. We saw Lily sitting at our doorstep looking furious. I could sense how all three of our moods just dropped. We were glad she was going to be out of our lives, but at the same time, none of us really wanted to deal with her this soon. I guess it was better to get things done sooner rather than later. We parked our car and made our way over to her. We let her in and sat down to talk. Before any three of us could say a word, Lily glared and pointed her finger at me. You are the reason my precious family is falling apart. Lily, I didn't even save it. You've been nothing but a thorn in my side. It wasn't enough to steal one man in my life. You had to take both of them. Mom, do you even know how insane you sound? Look at what you've made him into. I've had enough of this. If you came here to yell and blame Nessa, clearly yesterday taught you nothing. I didn't only come here for Nessa. I came to talk to you as well. I mean, what did you even think you were going to achieve by pulling a stunt like that? A stunt? Yeah, you call me ugly and threw fake divorce papers. Get back home and I will have a word with you. Lily, that was no stunt. That was all real. I am asking to divorce you. I'm sick and tired of you, and I meant every word I said yesterday. You're divorcing me because I'm ugly? You spent years pining over me? You know I'm not ugly. Besides, if Ryan can stay with Nessa, you can definitely overlook my appearance. Do you really not hear how obscene you sound? You may not be ugly on the outside, but you definitely have the ugliest personality. You are mean, entitled, and just embarrassing to be around. I'm glad I pined after you because I got Ryan, but I do regret staying with you even after Ryan moved out. You can't be serious right now. Please don't leave me. I tried my hardest to deal with everything. I was ready to deal with you for the rest of my life. But seeing how happy and in love Ryan and Nessa were made me realize that I was sacrificing my happiness for literally nothing. Your little speech against Nessa only cemented it for me. I wanted to wait until we got back home, but I just couldn't. Mom, none of us want you here. Could you please leave? I will make your life hell, Nessa. Believe me, this is all your fault, and I will make you pay for it. That's enough now. I'll come pick up some of my stuff tomorrow, but after that I expect you to contact me only through my lawyer. Goodbye. I was really relieved that Lily left without causing much of a scene. I was upset that she really had the nerve to come over to our place only to yell at me, especially when I really did nothing. But Jerry, Ryan, and I decided we needed to unwind, so we didn't really talk about it. Instead, we settled down to watch a TV series and just enjoyed laughing and spending time with each other. That night, Jerry did ask us if we had overstepped by assuming that we'd let him stay with us until his divorce was finalized, but we assured him that he had never overstepped and that we were going to be by his side until the end of it all. I mean, it was always just one thing after another with Jerry. I really was grateful that I was lucky enough to have such a good man in my life. The next few weeks were filled with trips to the courthouse. Lily tried her best to get a lot of Jerry's assets, but Jerry and her had signed a prenup, so it really was stupid of her to try and get some of it. It just ended up costing her much more than she would have gotten. Lily kept coming over to our place to harass us. After the divorce was finalized, we had to get the police involved, and eventually, with their advice, we got a restraining order against Lily. It was sad to see what Lily had been reduced to, but karma always comes to bite you back. Right now, Jerry's moving back into his house. Lily has moved out and taken her things with her to God knows where. Ryan and I are helping Jerry move out and settle into his home again. Ryan is taking his parents' divorce much easier than one would have expected. His mother's treatment of me only solidified his distaste for her, and his dad standing up for me made him love his dad even more. At the end of the day, all of us are happier now. This entire experience only showed me just how much influence a person can exert on your mental state. So make sure to always surround yourself with the people who care for you and lift you up.